Good morning and happy Monday. Jackie Berman here from TBA Law. Sorry, my Facebook app froze before, so I'm about 10 minutes late. But here we are, and I feel like it's been ages. But it was only last Monday that was Australia Day holiday, and the Monday before, I brought to you information about vulnerable beneficiaries. So today I wanted to talk about intestacy, and when we created the ad to say that I was going to be doing this today, there were questions about, well, what is intestacy? So if some of my staff didn't know what intestacy meant, I thought that it better have an explanation. And you are intestate if you die without a will. So an intestacy is when we're dealing with the administration of an estate which there is no valid will for. And I wanted to dispel the myth that the government gets everything if you pass away without a will. So that doesn't happen usually. There is legislation in each state in Australia which says how your estate passes if you pass without a will. In Victoria, it changed in 2017, so we have new laws in Victoria about intestacy. A couple of changes which were better for spouses, much fairer and more in line with common property prices. So if someone passes away without a will and they have a spouse, the spouse gets everything. If they pass away with a spouse and children, the spouse still gets everything unless it's a second marriage and the deceased person has children from their first marriage, so children that they don't share. So in that case, the spouse gets the first $450,000 of the estate, and then the rest of the estate is divided 50-50, with the spouse getting another 50% and the balance going equally to the children of the deceased that are not also the children of the spouse. If someone passes away without a will and they don't have a spouse but they have children, everything goes equally to their children. If one of those children has died, it goes down the line to the grandchildren, to the children of the deceased child. If someone passes away without a spouse or children, so a young person, for example, who doesn't have a spouse or children yet, everything goes equally to the parents. If someone passes away and their parents have also passed, it goes equally to their brothers and sisters. And if any of their brothers and sisters has passed away, it goes down the line to the nephews and nieces. So there's a whole lot of options before it ends up going to the government. If someone passes away without a will and they don't have spouse, children, parents, brothers or sisters, or nephews and nieces, then it goes to the government. So there's very few people who would fall into that category. So the issues with passing away without a will, other than the fact that the government, the law determines who it goes to, is that there's also no executor that you have appointed. So who actually administers the estate? Well, it's the person with the best claim to the estate. So, for example, if it's a young person and it's all going to go to the parents because they have no spouse or children, then the parents have equal right to administer the estate. Now, if the young person's parents are separated, too bad. The parents both equally have the right to administer the estate. So because the young person didn't do a will, the estate is now in the predicament that these parents may fight to actually administer the estate. And also, if a young person passes away, for example, without a will, and their parents had separated while they were young and they have very little relationship with one of their parents, again, too bad. They're both equally entitled because that's what the law says. So it's another incentive to do a will if someone's in that situation. And similarly, if you pass away without a will and you don't have a spouse but only children, each of your children has an equal right to apply for the administration of the estate. It's not saying that they will all come forward, but some may have more of an interest in doing it than others. And this may also cause problems between your children. As you're probably aware of their personalities, there may be some that are more controlling than others, or that don't get along with others, so that can cause some conflict. So those are the main things about intestacy. There is a method for how the estate is divided depending on who survives the person who's passed away without a will, and who can apply for the administration is the person who has the best entitlement. So those are the main things to know. Otherwise, I will save this video onto the page so that it is there in case you know of anyone who needs to watch this. You can direct them to it later. Either tag them in a comment, or you can direct message it to them if it's a bit more of a private issue. All of our videos do get posted onto our page, so you can go back and look through those. And I will be back next Monday at 10 o'clock for another legal tip then. I hope you have a great week.